designate of Cross River, our national youth leader of PDP, young men and women, distinguished ladies of the PDP new generation. You see, anytime I come to this center, I always have a feeling of nostalgia, a feeling of what this center stands for. In the era of the military rulership in this country, around mid-80s, the late Shehu Yaradua invited many of us, maybe about 19, 20, 25. There were 19 states. He picked a young man from every state of the country. Of course, I was one of those young men. And said to us, I want you to come along with me to fight the military and restore democracy in this country. The journey may be long, it may be rough. Some of us may live to see the return of democracy, some of us may not live to see. And he was one of those who never lived to see the return of democracy, and he made a supreme sacrifice of his life. Those of us who believed in the struggle continued. Here we are today with over 20 years of continued democracy. So anytime I step into this center, which I single-handedly borrowed from the United States, from the Martin Luther King Center, and said, what would I do to remember this man who made supreme sacrifice and who also made our lives possible? And with friends, we came together to build this center. So anytime I walk into this center, one of the major political philosophies he taught us was that we should break away at that time from our regional and build bridges across this country between north and south, east and west, so that we can have a united Nigeria. And that was why when we were building this center, we also built an incomplete bridge outside. Those of you who don't know the meaning of that uncompleted bridge. This is because he started building the bridge of unity across this country and he didn't complete it. Those of us who lived long enough continued with that. And I hope the young generation of PDP will continue building those bridges until we achieve unity in our country. I listened to the speech of the Deputy Governor designate from Cross River. And one of the issues he raised in that speech was the issue of women and their state of origin. if they marry across their states. Well, only one of my wives is from my state. But I remember during one of the transitions of President Babangida, because Babangida had many transitions, he will promulgate a decree for one transition. When we go midway, he will revoke the decree and collapse the entire transition. But there is one very, very important provision in one of the transition decrees. And that was the issue of citizenship. And in that decree, he made it eligible for any Nigerian if you have lived in a place for a minimum of 3 years and you pay their tax, you are eligible to contest in that state. A noble provision who would have brought about integration and unity in this country. But of course, as typical of Babangida, when we went halfway, he disbanded. And those of us I don't become president. I hope some of these powers and resources we are going to devolve to the states. We will make it possible for people who live outside their states, not necessarily who marry outside the state, but people and all Nigerians. I mean, we all live outside our various states of origin or of birth. And that is actually one of the provisions that is available in the United States Constitution. You don't have to. I think their own is maybe 6 months, 1 year, and then you become a citizen of that state. You can run for elections, do 2 years. So I thought members of the new generation of PDP, this is an issue you can put on the front burner as you continue with your political awareness and then campaigns, because we will definitely come to a situation where we will review our constitution. Let me congratulate you for putting together this new generation body of our party. But what I want you to understand is that politics is a career. In fact, I started mine before I even left the university. So in the university, I was a student politician. I contested all the elections, 1 year, 1 year, 2 years, and that's why I think I came out with a lower grade. Because every time I was running for an elective office in the Students' Union, I started from, I contested for secretary, I lost to somebody, then contested for assistant secretary, I won, and then from there and on until I left. And therefore continued after I left the civil service. It is a career. Don't get disappointed. Don't get frustrated because you lose an election 1 time or 2nd time or even 3rd time. On the presidency, this is my 3rd time on the ballot, and in other occasions I never even reached the ballot. So it is a career. It requires perseverance, it requires patience, and I thought I should let you know this if you want to make a career out of it. If not, then if you try once and you feel you can't handle it, move on to another aspect of your life. Again, there is no monopoly of good governance, whether you are young or old. There is no monopoly. You cannot say only young leaders can be good leaders. We have seen young leaders who have failed in leadership. You can't say, like the chairman has said, only old people can be good leaders, because we have seen elderly people who have failed woefully. We are going through one. So, I think it is a matter of training. If you are very well trained, like the chairman said, yes, I admit I have trained all my children. I have trained them, and I have a pattern of behavior which I insist from each and every one of them, or you face discipline. So it all depends on the kind of training you give to your children. And I have, yes, I'm an only child of my parents. Today I have more than 20 of my children. And I make sure they are all very well trained. Nobody is allowed to misbehave. Of course, if you misbehave, you are dealt with. So it is the training that you receive that determines the leadership that you can give to others into the society. So it is not, good leadership is not the monopoly of the old, and it's not the monopoly of the young. We must bear this in mind. So let me not take too much of your time. I'm a politician, maybe I may be talking and talking to you. So I want to congratulate you, new generation, for this wonderful initiative. And I hope that you will be very, very determined in achieving the objectives of this new generation. As you know, our current electoral process is being devolved to the polling unit. We don't want you in Abuja. We don't want you even in your state. We want you in your polling unit, polling booth. Go and deliver it to us. Protect the votes there and deliver it to us there. So, as far as PDP is concerned, we are going to unveil a campaign structure that is more emphasis on the polling unit. We are not going to have an unwieldy campaign council, and we are not going to be engaged in the jamboree campaign that they used to do. We are going to put emphasis at the polling unit. I want you to take note of that. Don't hang around in Abuja, establishing and creating so many support groups, running between my campaign office and my house and PDP headquarters, and think you are doing any good thing to the party or even to yourself. Go back to your unit. Deliver it. So, new generation, congratulations on a wonderful job. and I wish you every success. If you need consultancy, the party chairman is here. He will give you all the consultancy you need. Thank you very much.
If you're excited for 2023, I'd like you to make some noise. If you're excited for the next to tribalism, I'd like for you to make some noise. If you're excited for fair, clean education instead of going outside the country every now and then, make some noise. Put your hands together one more time for His Excellency, the incoming President 2023, Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar. Thank you so much, sir. And just as we round off this event, we're going to have the Honorable Yusuf Kume, MON, the Vice Chairman, National Strategic Committee, for the vote of thanks.
Atiku Abubakar. Thank you so much, the new generation, for coming. We appreciate you. You can check out the unfinished bridge and then read